Yeah, Sun Devils coming home for a second straight sellout crowd at Mountain America Stadium. They welcome the Colorado Buffaloes to town tomorrow. Joining us, as he does on Friday mornings, the head coach of the Sun Devils, Kenny Dillingham, our guest here on Bickley and Murata Mornings. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just fired up. We have another sellout crowd. Talking to Doug Tamaro this morning, he says it could be the first time in the last 15 years there's been back-to-back sellouts. And that just – people don't understand the value that adds to our players, the juice it brings, not just for this year, but for future years when we have a bunch of recruits here. So, I mean, all those local kids that are showing up to a sellout crowd, they get to see a sellout crowd, and they get to see Sean McDonald, another local legend here, go into the ASU Hall of Fame, which is going to be a pretty cool weekend.
Yeah, very cool. And don't have to wait till 7:30 for the kickoff. Get to do it in the afternoon, too. With the weather cooling down, should be a good day. Going back to last week, first road game for your team, and a play here, a play there. You're coming home with a win over Cal. Didn't work out that way, but overall, now that it's sunk in, Kenny, what did you think of your team's performance for the first time on the road?
Yeah, I think the guys are getting better, and I know that's not the fun thing to say, but they are. We're getting more and more competitive. We're getting closer and closer every single week. I think our defense battled throughout the game, limiting the explosive plays. Offensively, we had a good performance, and then you look at situations, and you look at the low red, and you look at third downs, and you say, man, if we had 3 plays flip, 4 plays flip, we're putting up 30 points in a football game, which is extreme growth from where we were 3 weeks ago. So I see our guys getting better, but there's still situational football that we have to get better at.
All right, Colorado also brings Dion and Coach Prime and everything that's all about. That's been quite a story in college football. Seems like there's 2 camps here. It seems like there's coaches who seem to get into it with Dion, and there's those who don't. And you and Dion seem to have a good relationship. What are your thoughts on what he has brought to the sport of college football in relation to what that might look like this weekend for your club?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gone in there and done a really nice job building a team and establishing a culture. And, at the end of the day, quarterback play is one of the biggest things in not just college football, but professional football. And right now they're getting first-round draft pick quarterback play. And so take everything out of it and just look at the Shedeur Sanders' success this year and what he's been able to accomplish. And that alone is the difference maker for that football team right now. And you combine that with the effort they're playing. So testament to him being able to bring in an elite quarterback of that nature, happens to be his son, which is even nicer, and combine that with the effort they're bringing. He's doing a really nice job.
Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest here on Bickley and Murata Mornings. Bick talked about it. You have a relationship with Deion Sanders. You recruited Shedeur, went through that whole process. Seems to be a lot of mutual respect. In fact, Deion dropped the nugget this week that he wanted to hire you for a staff that he was putting together without giving details. I'm curious, maybe not this week, but for 2 coaches in similar situations in the same conference, first year and trying to build culture, trying to build winning ways, have you, or do you think you will, just kind of pick the brain of Deion Sanders and have him pick your brain on the whole process and best practices maybe?
I mean, I think there's so many different ways to go about building a program. Maybe we will. We'll probably, before the game, exchange just what our experiences have been, from an administration standpoint, like what obstacles are you having? What obstacles are you having from a big picture standpoint? But there's every job is different, and every situation is different. So nobody can really. People can guide you through, don't get frustrated, can guide you through some things. But unless people are in your building and they see the exact situation you're in, it's going to be more general philosophies on how to build a program. And I think we both have the same general philosophies in terms of work works. You want to get better at something, work really hard. And continue to work really hard. And anybody who says that there's a shortcut around that, there's probably not somebody you should be listening to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, your offense has been challenged at times this year, obviously, with the injury to Jaden. It made things difficult for a bit. You got 10 touchdowns through 5 games. But it's shown spark. Your play calling's kind of ignited things. What growth have you seen from your offense, and how do you think that will look against a Colorado defense that has been suspect, to say the least?
Yeah, I mean, the growth is in the detail. I mean, we had multiple plays in which everybody executed last week, and earlier in the season that wasn't happening. The growth in the detail, the growth in the tempo of in which we're playing in terms of getting lined up and the urgency. Now that's just that you can't just flip a switch and everything change. So there's still some effort lapses. There's still some times where we forget maybe what we're doing. This is not an easy offense to learn. This is a complicated offense to learn. I say we're a pro-style offense that goes fast. So this takes a little bit of time to fully understand. So there's some times where our guys go blank, and that's on me. I got to limit what we're doing to try to prevent that from happening in year one. But I've been really, really pleased with the progression. Like I said, 430 yards, which isn't, to me, a good offensive performance in terms of my standard, but it's an extremely better offensive performance versus where we were. And that's really the everyday challenge, is just to get better.
And how would you rate Trenton Bourguet, his performance? I mean, the numbers looked pretty good. Were you pleased overall with the operation of the offense from the quarterback play?
Yeah, he did a really nice job getting the ball out of his hands and not taking sacks. Mm-hmm. When Trenton's style of play is, point guard mentality in terms of he's going to get the ball out of his hands. He's not going to take negatives, and he showed that. I mean, he'd like to have one play back on the interception where the right guard got beat instantly and the guy was in his face. Maybe check that one down or throw it at the feet of the back. But other than that, he played a really, really good game from an operational standpoint.
Couple of things on the defense. Caleb McCullough had a breakout game. He was all over the field. Wanted you to comment on his performance and his role moving forward. And Jordan Clark couldn't go last week. I know he wanted to. Will he be back this week for Colorado?
Yeah, so Caleb has been really good for us on special teams all year. He's slowly getting better and better and better at linebacker. And obviously we had Tate Romney go down last week. We had the transfer of Will Schaefer, and then we had Trey Brown go down. So we had 3 backers go down essentially last week. So him and James Jokum had to step up, who have mainly been teamers for us, and they both did a really nice job in terms of Caleb. Caleb was all over the field. He played fast. He played confident. And anytime you're a guy that maybe hasn't gotten as many reps as other guys, the key is to go play fast and confident. In regards to the nickel position, obviously JC, Jordan Clark, wasn't able to go. Mason was able to go, and then, he got knocked out of the game. So we had R.J. Reagan went in there and did a nice job. Hopefully we get JC back this week. It's still a game-time decision in terms of if we get him back, but we will at least get Mason back. So that'll be a positive.
Definitely. Kenny, thanks as always for the time. Best of luck this weekend. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Hey, last thing.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Nice.
There you go.
let's hope we can say that again next week.
See
Thanks,
you
too. Kenny Dillingham, the head coach of ASU. Look, those injuries at the cornerback spot and the nickel spot, they could be really, really magnified, or thank goodness those guys come back because Colorado's got a gaggle of receivers.